0.
The Free Energy Special Interest Group, where science meets spirituality in the quest for truth and knowledge to free humanity and transform this planet into a paradise.
Hi everyone, hi. This is Crystal here. I am hosting this 132nd FESIG meeting at Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. So we have a time difference here, but the next meeting we're going to have the same time as well. And the next meeting is also the second Wednesday of the month, but I will explain that more clearly. Okay, so welcome everyone to FESIG, which is the Free Energy Special Interest Group. And I am sharing screen now so we can see. Okay, right. I'm sharing screen, folks. Just give me a moment. It's coming up. You can see the agenda, all right? Sorry, that's not quite the agenda. There you go. All right, so FESIG is a Free Energy Special Interest Group, and today is the 8th of January, 2025. Happy New Year, everyone. Happy New Year, folks. We are starting off the new year on the second Wednesday of the month because day of the month was the New Year's Day itself, the 1st of January. So bear with us, and the time had changed because I am hosting it from Southeast Asia. It will change back to the normal time when I return in March. So our 132nd meeting is hosted by me, Crystal Gore, and our co-chairs, Dr. Fresfrezel, Pontus, and Henrik. Our visionofpeace.com/FESIG.html. And every time we have our meetings, we bring very exciting information, knowledge, and stuffs that people need to know from some of the most brilliant speakers around that we can get hold of. So FESIG, as an energy special interest group, we are a platform where science meets spirituality. And we gather together. Our primary objective is to build our own free energy devices, which we have been doing all these years, actually. So we form groups and R&D teams, and together we build and we build and we build. And as all of us know that we don't talk about it publicly because it is not a very safe thing to do. We do it in the background, and we are working very hard in the background. Dr. Fresfrezel, our co-chair since the beginning of FESIG, consistently in the meetings at FESIG's public meetings, he's also conducting the teachings in our R&D teams at FESIG. Since day one, we are successfully developing some stuff, but it is yet to be completed prototypes. So today we have speakers, MikeEmery, Magick Mike, and CraigPruess. Unfortunately, CraigPruess is down with a bad bout of flu, so he can't make it because he's got a terrible sore throat. He can't speak, so he apologized for not appearing. In fact, I had planned all three of them would be chatting with FESIG's team about the making of the bubble tech's Merlin's Chamber, how the bubble tech was progressed and developed by the three of them into a highly effective healing chamber. In early December 2024, I had interviewed Magick Mike inside his Merlin's Chamber that he had built with an impromptu recording, which will be played during the session. It's going to be an exciting time, folks, so stay on. And then when we finish the session, please pen down our next time that we meet on our 133rd meeting on the 5th of February, 2025. Oh, sorry, that's the first Wednesday of the month. All right, that's fine. So it starts at 1 p.m. GMT, 2 p.m. CET, and so on and so forth. Poor Fazz, my co-chair, has to wake up at 5 a.m. in the morning because it's from the PST region. Unfortunately, you all have to bear with me on that time zone. This is the best time I can make to accommodate all the time zones internationally. In March, we will swing back to the usual normal UK European time, okay, where it's more feasible for all of us here. Right, so if you want to contact me, write to crystal@truevisionapiece.com. Our website is truevisionapiece.com/physics.html. We've got 3 video channels: YouTube, BitChute, Odyssey. Okay, and there's some controversial video recordings that we had to put in BitChute and Odyssey. So do look out in all the channels, or you miss some important information. And I urge you to join us at our Telegram channel. It's just physics_group, where you can interact with all the members and even interact with the speakers and form your own study groups, because what we are studying and learning from our speakers are, wow, it's so beneficial, so useful. So thank you, folks, for making sure that you are benefiting from all the videos that we have done. We so appreciate you. Thank you for taking time off to join us in this meeting. Our brothers and sisters here certainly are good to attend, because then you have a live interaction with the speakers, and they are very, very, very good with the important information they bring that helps us progress in our divine mission here on the planet. Okay, Deborah, did you say my sound is distorted? I guess I have intermittent internet drop pages, unfortunately.
No, that was from a while ago, Crystal. You're fine.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you, Deborah. Oh, thanks for reassuring me. Okay, so without much ado, I am going to introduce, as I had announced in our website. So like before the first Wednesday of the month, or the second, the first Wednesday of the month, because it's going to swing back. Do check up on our updated website who is speaking in detail, okay, and who is bringing what kind of information. If you interact with us live here on our live meetings, you get a lot more, of course. Otherwise, you have to wait a couple of weeks before we publish the video, I'm afraid. So anyway, MikeEmery is one of us at FESIG. He's been with us for years and years. He's one of the most thought-provoking quantum physicists of our times, whose essays earned him a place at the first 1/10 of the top 1% of the scientific community at the academia.edu. Academia is used by academics at 13,000 universities, right, Mike? MikeEmery developed with his partners the orgone bubble tech in May 2018 and went viral when people are experiencing miraculous healing and manifestations of their heart's desire. The bubble tech is made up of high-frequency violet ray Tesla transformer and coil, charging up the mixture of cement infused with many other important ingredients in the organic pot. Referred to Physics 66 and 67th meetings. Physics 67th meeting, we had James Ring of Super Soldier talk, and MikeEmery instructing him on how to make the bubble tag. So it's a bubble tag workshop on the 7th of August, 2019. So this was just before the COVID hits us. Okay, what does this contraption do? It generates massive euphoria because it is transmitting a frequency of 33,333 hertz. Euphoria in humans, animals, birds, and some insects. The wire is attached to seal wool copper in the bottom of the cement layers, so the current flows through the whole piece and then amplified, broadcasted when the one is turned on. And the glass tube attachments for the Tesla one are filled with argon gas, purple, or neon gas, orange, and are just the tools to touch the cement and help get the frequency into the cement. When the mirrors are aimed at storms, it breaks them up, as they proved with Hurricane Ian and the January 4th storm that hit San Francisco at that time. When you sit or lie down inside the tetrahedron, the strongest part of the bubble field, you feel massive euphoria in heart chakra. When the bubble pieces are placed outside, we see lizards, cats, and birds congregating on and around the bubble piece within minutes. Certain insects are repelled. This device consists of a copper tetrahedron with 9 sides overwrapped in aluminum wire, which Magick Mike will explain in detail in a moment, for the piezoelectric effect, powered by 2 Tesla coil violet ray bands, supplemented by 2 infrared lights and 2 24-inch DuraVision concave mirrors, amplifiers. This was, I think, from another Merlin Chamber's contraption, so I don't know if Magick Mike has the concave mirrors as well. This is all mounted on 3 bullet-shaped bubble pieces constructed as per Merlin MikeEmery's instructions. Yeah, MikeEmery, aka the cowboy physicist, showed how to make these, and he has videos with step-by-step building details if you go to BubbleTech's Facebook. If you go to our FESIG website, you got all the links, okay? So you don't have to worry about not being able to find them. You just have to visit our FESIG site. Just keep clicking on the live links and you'll find them all. Magick Mike and CraigPruess will be, CraigPruess is not able to show up because he has flu and a sore throat. So, but Magick Mike will be talking with MikeEmery to tell us how their collaborative efforts in co-creating the Merlin's Chamber. Okay. CraigPruess has more than 14 best-selling. He's an award-winning musician. He's got more than 14 best-selling world music and chart records to his credit, regularly performing in concerts from Glastonbury Festival and WOMAD. Craig's prominence in the recording world led to arranging tracks for TV drama and award-winning movie soundtracks. Magick Mike is the man who builds and puts it all together. He travels around with this awesome healing device, ready to set up anywhere it is needed for healing in the UK. I'm afraid it's only available in the UK unless you want to fly him over to your country and your location. So, right, over to you now, MikeEmery and Magick Mike. Would you say hi to everyone and let's have a wonderful forum of a chat with our FESIG team here. Our FESIG team, you're most welcome to anytime, whenever you want to chip in with an idea or a question or an input, just unmute yourself. Then, hi, Mike. Oh, you can't show yourself because you have a problem. Yeah. MikeEmery, can you unmute yourself, Mike? Okay, you know how MikeEmery looks like. He can't show himself. He has an issue.
Sorry.
I think a dentistry
I'm
thing.
good.
Yeah. Go on then. You're good. Yeah.
Okay, I'm good. Thank you, Crystal, for excellent lead in. Very well done. You are a student.
Thank you.
You are a student. I love that. Yeah.
I am a student. Yeah, I'm a good student. I learn from all the speakers.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah.
Excellent.
Thank you. So over to you, Magick Mike. Want to say hi to everyone? And then.
Hello, Crystal. It's good to see you again. Thank you for inviting me to speak at the 132nd FESIG meeting. It's my honor and pleasure to be with everybody today. And yeah, unfortunately, you didn't get to experience the full Merlin's Chamber experience in London, as the interview sort of overtook the time. But it'd be great to have you back
because
as soon
you
as
are
we
so
can.
much in demand. Yeah, there's a long
Well, it was
queue
very
waiting
busy.
for the healing. Yeah, very busy.
Yeah,
I understand. So if that's the case, then it really works, right? So why don't you tell us about the efficacies and the testimonies of how, because our group here at FESIG, we are familiar with organic pieces of the organic pieces of the bubble tech, because Mike has been teaching us how to build it, right? Would you
for years? Yeah, right.
us. Yeah, Mike.
What's that? Excuse me?
Well, it's
What did you
well,
say?
it's
Mike?
everything. It's everything that MikeEmery, said it was. Um, induces miracles. It's an amazing experience. And I've been at home for a good year with Merlin's Chamber and
Yeah.
just experiencing the euphoria pretty much just for myself in combination with Craig's music.
Mhm.
And it got to the point I was like,
Mhm.
I can't keep this to myself. This is way too much of a good thing just to be sitting in my living room.
Mhm.
So back in
Yes.
August, I contacted Craig out of the blue and I said, Craig, I love your music. I'm a friend of MikeEmery's. I've got my Merlin's Chamber and we really need to combine the two. So fast forward about a month to the beginning of October, I visited Craig in his hometown, well, not hometown, but where he lives in Stroud, Gloucestershire. We co-collaborated with his friend Fred Shelbourne of the Harmonics of Nature studio. And we had 2 days, 41 participants to experience the fully immersive Merlin's Chamber experience, which combines the orgonite technology, the tetrahedral structure of Merlin's Chamber, Craig's music, along with vibrational chairs and a very powerful subwoofer. And the feedback was nothing
Did
short of
Magic Mike
phenomenal.
freeze? Huh?
See, I was just saying the feedback was nothing short of phenomenal. When you got 41 people
Mhm.
who are very experienced in the world of healing, whether it's yoga, meditation, breath work, ecstatic dancing, you name it. And they're all saying this has
Mhm.
a unique flavor. This is something different to what we've experienced before. I thought, we're really
Yeah.
onto something here. We really are onto something. And it's all unfolded so organically since the beginning of October in Stroud, and it naturally unfolded to Glastonbury, where I'm pretty much stationed now. And really, on the subjects of testimonials, I think Sidika's still with us today. So, yeah, I see her smiling on camera, kind of putting her on the spot a little bit, but I really want to thank Sidika because she really helped promote Merlin's Chamber in Glastonbury and get people through the door. And she had her own really wonderful experiences. So instead of boast about my own
Craig,
contraption,
can I do a little bit of an input here? Would you be able to explain, because not this is an international platform, right? Not everybody knows what Glastonbury is about. It's the acupuncture
No.
point of the planet, so people know it as, and it's the heart chakra of the planet, isn't it? And that's where Merlin is known from there. Is that right, Craig? Would you have a very short, brief a description of what Glastonbury is about?
Absolutely, yes. So Glastonbury is the heart chakra of the world, and particularly of the UK, and is a very mystical and powerful energy within the town. There's lots of ley lines passing through as well, and it's for those who haven't visited. You really have to visit to really experience that
Can I
powerful
add? Can I
magical
add?
energy.
It's like Woodstock, right? I mean, it's like the mecca of where the rainbow people, colorful people flock to, the baby boomers and all that, right? Yeah. So,
Yeah,
but
yeah. If
some
you're
sacred. It's an intersection of ley lines, right? And where Merlin hailed from as well. And some say that King Arthur was buried there as well at the Glastonbury Tor.
yes, so
Mhm.
the King Arthur's tomb is based in Glastonbury, and it's interesting you mentioned the tour because
Mhm.
that's where I held my first event in Glastonbury, was right at the foothill of the tour. Literally look out the back window and there it is. So there really are no coincidences. It's really this powerful vortex of energy has been pulling me in with the Merlin's Chamber experience. And yeah, there's no better place to really be hosting it. And I even tried to sort of like leave temporarily, tried to leave Glastonbury temporarily just before Christmas, but there was a sequence of events with my van breaking down, and it was like, not you're stopping in Glastonbury, right on the ley line, right at the foothill of the tour, and that's where you're meant to be, really anchoring in the energy of Merlin's Chamber in Avalon, and really bringing my magic as a custodian as the land of Avalon.
Right. I just wanted to share screen again to show you folks where to find them. All right. So you can see from physics website, right? If you go to physics website, truevisionofpeace.com/physics, you will see as you scroll down our announcements of the speakers and all that. So if you hover, you may not be able to discover the links unless you have your mouse hovering over the live links, and you see, and you just click. It takes you to their Bubble Tech Facebook. Okay, and there you can learn everything that you need to know about how to put the what you call the tech organic pieces together, right? And you click on their names, Mike. It will take you to his academic site or his Facebook, wherever you can find him, right? So this one will take you to the YouTube link to show the video of how James Rink was guided by Mike to do the bubble tech, his bubble tech piece. And here you see Magick Mike's name. You click on it, it takes you to his Facebook. And CraigPruess is really an amazing guy. He's an award-winning musician. He made the musical score, the soundtrack for Harry Potter as well, isn't he? Didn't he, Craig?
Yes,
no, I mean
he done
Magick Mike. Sorry, Craig. Yeah. Anyway,
I think you've called me. I think you've called me Craig a few times, but it's all good. Yes,
I'm
he
so
done the.
sorry. Magick. Yeah.
Yes, he done the sitar for
he
the.
did
I think it was the Goblet of Fire.
Yeah. Right. So I want you to know that Mike has spoken at Physics 66 meeting on the organic bubble tech. So you won't get lost looking for referrals on which video to refer to for all the details. And here you see James Rink happily making the bubble tech in his pail or in his pot, yeah, and successfully having some benefits as well with the bubble tech that he created. When he had a typhoon in his area, the bubble tech apparently protected him and his house and didn't get any damage at all. Surprisingly, it is really amazing, miraculous. Yeah, sorry. Okay, I think
in the case of James Rink, it protected him from a tornado. You know,
protected him from tornado. Yeah. Thank you, Mike. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I do have a sorry. Okay, there you go. Yeah. So the bubble tech protected James Rink from the tornado, and his whole house was really untouched by the hurricane. It's quite amazing. Yeah, all right, then. Yeah, over to you, Mike. You want to say some stuffs you want to add before we go back to Magick Mike?
Yeah, okay, well, yeah, it's like Magick Mike said, there's no coincidences. You know, in other words, we're in a movie. You know, and even now we're still in a movie. And proof of that in his case is that he learned about me in Ecuador. He was the doctor's had a bubble piece inside the doctor's office. He could feel it, and so he asked the doctor where it came from, and the doctor told him from MikeEmery in England. Yeah. Cool. so then Mike came home, you know, to England, and got a hold of me, and the rest is kind of history. You know, we're doing amazing things.
Yeah.
Now, the reason that all of this works is because of capacitance. Capacitance is two charged plates, also known as inductance. If you charge a plate in space with negative energy, which would just be electrons, and then you put another plate nearby it, then that other plate will induce the other plate to have positive charge accumulation. And so what you have in between the two plates is a null zone. You know, null meaning no frequencies. Well, there's one frequency, 3. You know, and the source of the information that leads to the vibe of 3 being the only vibe that can survive in a capacitance field is our 3 gods, because they were the only bits of information at the beginning. Was our 3 gods: God the Father, God the Son, and herself. The original God of everything is herself, female, darkness. Everything is conceived in darkness. That's not difficult. You tell people that and they don't seem to get it, you know, but there's just no wiggle room on it. You know, everything's conceived in darkness. And because of that, darkness is life force. There's life force in darkness. It has to come from somewhere. And everything comes from darkness. So then, since everything starts in darkness, then that's also the source of life force, as well as consciousness. You know, Edgar Cayce did a thing on this a long time ago, about darkness, chaotic darkness, being the source of consciousness. You know, and it's where we all come from, and we all come from there every microsecond, according to the movie. And we made the movie, humans. You know, humans as our pure consciousness. We all have a pure consciousness or observer self that rides with us to, you know, forever, basically, till you die. And you can actually see it. But so the bubble tech attaches or basically engulfs a person in non-polar core life force energy. And so the results are just miraculous. We just yesterday, you know, a friend of mine has a couple of triple cones, and she got, and I've been telling her, you know, you got a vax person, anybody that's got you know, graphene oxide in them, if they just touch triple cone for a few seconds, you get immediate relief. Well, that happened yesterday again, you know. And the reason for that is very simple. Graphene oxide's polarized. The capacitance fields are nonpolar. You know, so you know, the polarized energy cannot exist in a non-polar. It's just like, you know, you know, the one doesn't understand the other at all. You know, you're polarized, you can't be here. If you're non-polar, you can be here. You can be here. You know, and the more non-polar you are, the more you're connected to all it is, and you know, information starts coming in. You know, if people like artists and stuff like that, they constantly get information. Artists that work with, like Craig, like a Merlin Chamber, his creativity's gone off the scale since he set up his Merlin Chamber. It's extremely straightforward, you know, and then the tetrahedral nature of every cell in our body. Every cell in our body, the water in there is structured in the shape of a tetrahedron by the micronutrients that we don't get in our diet. You know, and so our bodies actually do all chemical transmutation in order to have those micronutrients, because the water has to be structured as a tetrahedron in order for it to flow the energy, the light of life. Tetrahedrons is like quartz crystal. That's the root nature of a quartz crystal, is a tetrahedron. And so what they use quartz crystal to make fiber optics, because light flows in the quartz crystal very effortlessly. And so that's so that's what we do. We put ourselves in that flow, and the next thing you know, healing occurs, and it's extremely quick. People are always amazed at how quick it is. Me too. And that's the other thing about bubble tech, as well as the translators. Trevor Ford Constable's translators, which have been run by Harry Rhodes for years. About 15 years, 10 years, thereabouts. What's been happening is that when we've been asking for miracles, they happen before we can even do the intentions. Or in the case of the translators, they have to set them up and point them in the direction of the problem that they want to fix. And what they've been finding is that before they even set up their translators and point them in the right direction, the miracle has occurred. The hurricane stopped.
Mike,
they need
Mike, the translators, you meant the people who made it, the person who made the bubble tech, is you refer to them as a translator with their consciousness, their thoughts that points the direction?
No, the translators are Wilhelm Reich's, what he called cloudbusters at the time, of those long tubes.
Mm-hmm.
Right, and those long tubes are mirrored on the inside, and then you put the intention in a organic piece, like a puck, just even a little orgone puck, and it gets mirrored off going up the pipe, and the pipe concentrates the energy, the intentions, and can focus it several thousand miles away, all the way around the planet, anywhere basically on the planet. And they do things like the one that I like is the Nicaraguan government had their military out hunting and killing the indigenous folks that live around the big lake in the middle of Nicaragua. And Harry and his crew, translators, focused on that area. The soldiers left inside of 5 minutes. They were packing up and leaving immediately. Yes, it's because Euphoria is now in the process of becoming the root emotion for manifestation. Everything which you see is, first of all, an image. It's not matter. Is not real. Matter is just a reflection of our intentions, basically. And the proof of that is that if via our intentions we can stop hurricanes, which we do, then it was our intentions that made this hurricane in the first place. So, oops, because of the ridiculous distances that we are able to throw our intentions, it kind of shows that we're way more powerful than we think we are.
Yeah, we are manifesting through our thinking, our thoughts. Yeah. That's the co-creator's power, isn't it? Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well,
Thank
it
you, Mike.
turns out, it turns out that our DNA broadcasts the entire multiverse. the entire multiverse is found in our DNA, and so therefore our DNA provides the information for the multiverse to manifest it every microsecond, and we do it collectively. And a proof of that is the Tesla utron, UTRON. The Tesla utron. Yeah. Well, the oldest T car, and then Ralph. Yeah. There's a few other people that worked with him to make the utrons. They made 100 of them, and so we know that they work. And after enough rides in the utron, you don't need the device anymore. You can go on your own, which is kind of exciting. In other words, for humans to know that they can teleport at will, all you have to do is choose to be somewhere. And we've had at least one person that has teleported using a Merlin Chamber.
Well, he's gone.
Excuse me? Hello?
I think we've got, Crystal's got a glitch. I'm going to jump in real quick and interrupt MikeEmery and bring Magick Mike back. Mike, you had some things you were just about ready to talk about?
Yeah, absolutely. So really just to expand on a few of Mike's points about life force energy and chi, and bring in coherence and structure to our body of water. I just really wanted to share with the audience that we are hydro sapiens. So molecularly speaking, we're 99.9% water, and if we can bring more charge and more coherence and more structure to that body of water, then it's naturally we have more chi, more life force energy, and life becomes effortless. It's this effortless manifestation of alchemy and magic and joy and all the good stuff. And really, Merlin's Chamber is a vehicle for that. It really very much assists the process. And I've had people attend the experience who haven't even really meditated before, and all of a sudden they're in this deep meditative state, and very calm, very serene, and it's just wonderful to see. It really is.
Excellent. You had a video that you had queued up showing your chamber. Do you have a moment to do that?
Yeah, absolutely. So
yes,
I'll just click on
the. We got everyone so curious. I think at this point we need to show the whole Merlin chambers on the video, and and the video. Yeah, I don't know. I have the video. So if you could just fast forward and just show the most important clips on video, that would be good. We can't show the whole video because it's just too much.
Okay, so
Magick Mike.
There is a section of the video which I think is pretty relevant to the discussion, and also it showcased the chamber in all of its glory. So at the moment it's saying host disabled attendee screen sharing. So I don't know if you can change that.
You can do the screen share, right?
No, it's not allowing for it at the moment.
Okay. Not allowing multiple. Oh no, that's not safe to do, right, Pruess? Multiple participants can share simultaneously. That's not good.
You should be able to do it specifically for him on his request.
Okay, I'll do that.
You can make him co-host also. Thank you, Sid.
Co-host. Yeah, I think that's better. Go ahead. Yeah. Share screen. Hi, Scott.
Okay, so choose what to show, the entire screen. Okay, open system preferences. Brave browser. Okay, just gotta input my password to do this. Okay.
Complicated.
And it's at this point I realise how long my password is.
Yeah.
One. Oh God.
Okay. Hopefully we're not having any technical glitches. Just when you think it's going to be straightforward. All right. Okay. So let's just try it again. Open system preferences.
It used to be a lot easier.
Okay, window to share your window allows screen recording for Brave and system. Okay, so we're gonna allow for that. Nope, that's not doing that. Open system. Okay, so I've done that. Privacy and security.
I don't understand why you have to look for passwords and all that. When
I might have to.
You have a lot of.
Okay. Yeah. Am I co-host? Was it?
You are a co-host. You can share screen. You have a lot of privileges as a co-host.
Okay, we keep working on that. I just wanted to interject, that the tetrahedron
Yes, please.
is obviously a function of the triangular ethers. The ethers exist as, first of all, circles, little half moons in circles, and the circles drew into squares, and along the way, herself became aware of the passing of time. That went out as kind of like a phallic phallic symbol into the ethers, which forced it to circle up, and creates the Anu. Anu is the first name of God in the Babylonian text, Sumerian text in the Vedas, and it's the Anu is an ovoid that has both male forms of God in it. The DNA portion of the Anu carries memories, and the outer spin of the Anu is centrifugal, and it scrubs memories. It's like a pixel. It gets information so that it can receive more information. And so the Anu is the God particle, and the ethers, when that phallic symbol went out, that straight line went out, it also went into a circular ether and became a triangle, which is fairly simple. You take an equilateral triangle, and it describes a sphere, and then you make a 3D, and it's tetrahedron. Even though it's 3D to our way of thinking and looking at, its environment is still 2D because it's in an ether, which is a plane, basically. And
Mike,
so
MikeEmery,
2D,
MikeEmery, will you pause for a second? Magick Mike, your second mic is echoing onto the recording.
Oh, okay. Let me just double check that one. Okay. So I've muted that one. Yeah. So that should be muted. I'm up here. Yeah. Okay, that mic's off. Cool. How's that? Is that okay?
And Pontus, would you check and see if we've got another echo disturbance? I think we've got it now. MikeEmery, go ahead and finish. And then I think Magick Mike has his video queued, but finish up, please. Thank you, MikeEmery. MikeEmery, you'll have to unmute yourself.
I don't know what happened. It wasn't muted, but anyway, okay. So the ethers are the root, of everything. Everything comes from ethers, and from the gods, from the emotions that are in the ethers and that are also in space, and are chaotic in space, come from God herself. She was lonely, and in space for nobody knows how long, and then that led to fear of loneliness, and that's why females hate being lonely, so from there she had the idea of time, and that created the Anu. Well, first of all, she had the idea of who am I, and so the only answer to that, because there's nobody else there, was herself. So I am that I am is God's law, and everything is manifest according to God's law. God's law, I am that I am, which is like attracts like. And mirroring, because that's the only law that consciousness takes advantage of those. We know that. It's stuff from my physics that we take advantage of and use it in bubble tech to do miracles that are unmatched in human history for years. We've been doing it for 8 years now. And it's just nobody has stopped hurricanes regularly. Nobody has saved way over 2 billion animals, which we have done, way over. And it's verifiable. If I am making it, when we did it in Australia, there was a young girl that was in the hospital with lupus, and she was in bad shape. She had like 20 kilos extra water on her, and we sent her Euphoria, and the following day she was ready to go home. All the water, she lost something like 5 kilos of weight and water overnight, and she hadn't got out of her bed in 3 weeks. And the following day, she got out of her bed and was ready to go home. That's typical, and so the Australian girl, we healed her as a prova that we had made it rain in Australia and put out massive fires. And we've done the same thing in the Amazon a couple of times. The last time there was 2,000 fires in the Amazon. They all went away. We made it rain for a week, every day for a week, and that put out all the fires. And then the same thing in the Congo and Siberia, and we've done it a number of places around where we can either stop a hurricane, which is too much rain, or make it rain because the area needs rain. It's all euphoric. If it's done in Euphoria, it's going to work, and you cannot screw it up. It's idiot proof. As long as you do it, and feel that Euphoria being transferred to whoever or whatever, then that whatever it is that you're seeing Euphoria to becomes euphoric, and it changes. And so what's happening is that herself, because she was lonely, then when the two little half circles, I am that I am, manifest, she loved them very much. They became the ethers, and they're piezoelectric green, which is the color of love, the color of the hot chakra. Okay, that is changing. It's changing to euphoria, to light purplish euphoria. And so euphoria in the future, not too distant future, will become the soul emotional catalyst of creation. So anytime all of everything, all of memories, all of everything is due to the rule. I am that I am, like attracts like. But that
yeah,
that
Mike,
rule.
I'm just gonna intersect a little bit here because we've got a question in the chat from apologies if I'm butchering the name, but it's Suring, and she's asking about earthquakes. Yeah, are earthquakes preventable?
Yeah, yes, of course they are. Yeah, but we need bubble pieces right on the fault line, so right there. Then yeah, we can cancel earthquakes, eliminate them from ever happening. Get enough bubble pieces around the Earth, and there'll be no more hurricanes, volcanoes, or tornadoes, or hurricanes. Any of that stuff, it all goes away.
Okay.
But we need a lot of bubble pieces to do that.
Okay, can you hear me? It would be good if when Mike speaks, right, Magick Mike, if you could just show the video in the background, because Mike is not showing himself, it's just a blank screen. So quietly show the video in the background so people can get a grasp of what we are talking about, right? And then and it would be nice if you are ready, you can start sharing. Yeah, okay, good. So we got the video. Who is speaking now? Okay, that's me and Magick Mike.
Okay,
was interviewing him.
Okay, so you see the tetrahedron, the energy inside the triangular ethers, like all of the odd-sided etheric realms, is chaotic, which means that you can control it. You know, and so that's what we do, you know, with our intentions. And so because our intentions are able to do these massive miracles, and it's our intention to matter in the first place. So it's very, very straightforward in that regard. It's just a matter of installing the intentions into darkness, which is the seed level of creation. And we do that by a bubble tech capacitance field. The capacitance field is darkness. There's no vibrations in there other than 3.
Yeah. Can you hear me? I would like to say that Magick Mike, if you could show your Facebook photos of the step-by-step how you built this and why you wind the copper wire around the rods that's making the pyramid. Because we have experts here in our team here that will tell you.
Yeah, I think probably the best thing is what I'll do is I'm just going to briefly, so everybody can see the video right now. So I'm just going to briefly stop my share screen and pull up my document on the step-by-step guide on how to build it. So
you can start off with, okay, we did start off with how James organic piece of the bubble tech.
Yes, I think it'd be a good segue into okay.
I don't understand what's going on the screen right now.
So I'm just putting it up right now. It might be easy. Actually, I've just got to bear with me, guys. Okay, so it's just loading at the moment. Okay, so I'm just gonna. So, guys, if you. Okay, so can everybody see the document?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So I'm just going to take everybody through the for the document I put together on with the step-by-step guide for making Merlin's Chamber.
Cool.
And this is I kind of approached it as though almost think of it like baking a cake. You know, you got your ingredients, and it's very straightforward. So we got the connector pieces for inserting the pipes. We've got the pipes themselves, of course, and there's some details. Also, the metal wiring that Crystal and I discussed about wrapping around the aluminium. Well, I've got aluminium pipes wrapped in copper wiring to create the piezoelectric effect. Some buying guides on the ultraviolet ones, and I'll get to the how I made the triple cones in a moment. Those are my concave mirrors, and there's the pipes. So it's not actually an awfully complicated process. It's pretty straightforward. There's not a great deal of materials, come to think of it. And would everybody like me to just briefly discuss the triple cones in slightly more detail?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, cool. So this is really getting into the orgonite technology, and which has been refined by MikeEmery, who we heard from earlier. It's been refined for the 21st century. So originally it was the technology of Wilhelm Reich. So it's a very interesting quote I included. Scientific theory is a contrived foothold in the chaos of living phenomena. Going back to what Mike just said about it's a chaotic energy field within Merlin's Chamber. And all of these sort of mainstream scientific attempts at explaining the universe and the human condition and what have you.
Magick Mike, I don't mean to interrupt you, but would you make it a big screen, please? I mean, just go full screen because we can't read it well.
Okay.
It's too small.
Here we are. So a little bit better. Let me get rid of this.
A little bit. Yeah, better. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
We need to go very quickly over it because people can freeze screen and read. Okay, so just go through it very quickly.
Mm-hmm. Well, if anybody wants, okay, so if anybody wants a copy, you can always email me, and I'd be happy to share it. But it's a very basic list of ingredients. So there's bionized sand, there's magnetite, a little bit of superplasticizer, GANS water, and a few other things that are some helium materials as well. There is a process. It starts with the pine cones, and then the pine cones are nested inside.
Everybody can make this.
Yeah, and there's different ways to do it. Yeah, so just to make it clear to everybody, a triple cone is basically one of these small pine cones here, nested inside of a 9-inch cone. And then the 9-inch cone is nested inside one of these bigger ones. Mine are 16 inches. It can vary in size a little bit, but that's the basic premise. And
can I interrupt? Yeah. So we can bring the audience attention back to 2019 when Mike taught us at FESIG how to make the bubble tank. James Rink was putting his pot together. It has progressed from a pot to a cone, right, Mike?
Yes.
And that's Magick Mike holding his cone.
Yeah, that's in Avebury. It's actually 20 minutes away from Pusey, where I first met Mike in person. And we had the prototype for Merlin's Chamber. And again, you know, the land of Avery really pulled me in to revisit with my triple cones. And
can I add in Pusey Avery? That's where we have the world famous occurrences of crop circles, yeah, where we have a lot of tourists coming in for the crop circles. Yeah,
exactly.
Sacred site.
So yeah,
Magick Mike.
I keep getting pulled in by these sacred sites with a lot of history, really just to you know, bring Euphoria and Merlin's energy to these sacred lands. And so yeah, it's a very privileged position to be in. So let's get back to, here we are. So with all that said, yes, there is another thing I wanted to touch on regarding Mike's discussion about photons and the images. So from our discussion, my understanding, Mike, you know, you can refine this a little bit if needs be, but the images are carried by photons of light. For every molecule of water, there's 1 trillion photons. So going back to our you know, we are hydrosapiens, you know, we're 99% water. So for every molecule of water in your body, there's 1 trillion photons surrounding one molecule of water. So that's really what carries the images as well. So we are, you know, superconducting image generators who manifest this whole reality. So really just to impart that on the audience, that, you know, we have this great capacity as hydrosapiens and image generators or imagineers, which is a amalgamation of the word image and engineer. So imagineers, to really bring forth this reality. And Merlin's Chamber and Bubble Tech really just assist the process and amplifies what we already have. So I really want to instill that on the audience.
Wonderful. I don't understand what's happening on the screen now. I see myself sharing screen and I can't stop it. And yet at the same time, you're sharing screen as well, right, Magick Mike?
Yes.
Are we seeing your screen? Yeah.
Yeah. So I can stop the share temporarily.
Right. Oh, good.
But
okay,
there is
right.
probably two, with respect to time, there's probably two things I would like to sort of cover. I want to attempt to show you a testimonial video via my phone. So we'll have to see how this goes. So be with on my other Magick Mike. So where are we? Share images, screen. Yep, start now. Okay, so can everybody see the screen on the other Magick Mike? Just checking it myself.
No.
No. Oh yeah. Okay. So let me just attempt to. Okay. Oh, I think I've got a live for Zoom. Is it? Yes. Okay. So that should all be in well. Okay, yeah, here we are, guys. So I want to show you guys a testimonial video from one of my events in Glastonbury. Let me know if you can hear the audio.
We want to hear Craig's music as well, and how he came into the audio making of the
we don't hear the audio
Merlin
so far.
Chamber.
Okay, let me just going to mute myself on the laptop. So yes.
While you're doing that, Mike, tell about the lady that you guys healed. You know, the instantly you had somebody that had some problems, and you set up and sent Euphoria to her, and bam, done, fixed. Oh, you've muted yourself. I can see you, but I can't hear you.
Okay, yeah. So to that point, on the 23rd of December, we got word that there was a lady who was on death's door and she didn't have long to live. And so we basically set up my orgonite cones in a triangular formation, and with my partner in crime, Sabrina, we started praying. We prayed for her inside of the orgonite cones that were charged with the Tesla coil. And we really imagined, her feeling a lot better, and also her family reconnecting with her. We got word the next day that she's picked up, she's feeling better, and her son's been in touch to arrange a visit. So all within the span of 24 hours, and really just imagining, really seeing that family reunion and the lady in better health. Boom, it was done in 24 hours.
Oh, good. Right. So you were showing us something on your phone. Do you want to finish showing it? Does it take too long?
No, hopefully we can get
to do a screen share.
More technical difficulties. So yeah,
because we are running out of time.
Yeah. Okay. Hopefully. Oh, there we go. Look. It'll be all right on the night.
I know why there is a feedback that Pontus talking about in the chat, because you've got two devices side by side. That's what is interfering.
Okay, so can you guys hear me now?
Now it's better.
Yes, very good.
I think there's no more feedback. Yeah, cool. Go ahead.
Okay, so let me just go back to screen share. Start now. Okay. It's the I would like to share the testimonial. It's not cooperating with me. You know what? On the message of testimonial, we do have Sidika with us today.
Oh,
actually, let me just try.
Sidika. Yeah. Do you want to speak up and tell us about your healing?
Yes, I can talk live, or I've also got the video that Magick Mike recorded, so I could screen share that. But I can just ad lib. Yeah, in Glastonbury when Magick Mike came, I came for a session, and CraigPruess was there as well, and I was there with a friend inside the chamber because you could fit two people in, and Craig did a little guided meditation for us initially, and then it started with this incredible music, and Craig has composed about 9 different pieces of music, all using these harmonics of nature earth tones developed by Fred Shelbourne. And Craig asked us to have an intention for what we wanted to experience. So we had the intention, and then the music started. And almost immediately I was like, oh my God, completely overwhelmed, and just an intense feeling of euphoria. I couldn't put the name to it initially, but it was just amazing. And what came to me was that this is the frequency that we should all be feeling. That this is it. This is the frequency of the earth, of the universe, of absolute joy and euphoria, and that all this other stuff, all the the hatred and the violence and everything is just completely unnecessary, and just completely overwhelmed with this feeling. And I was kind of opening up and calling my guides in and everything. So a very incredibly cosmic experience. And then it felt like my sort of crown chakra was kind of peeling off me. Very, very intense. And at the end, I was just kind of sat there. I was sort of crying. I could hardly speak. And then, and then eventually I kind of came back to myself. But it was just absolute magic, just an intense feeling of joy. Euphoria, so just amazing.
This is what MikeEmery was saying about Euphoria, right? And you experienced that. Wow, yes. Sidika, well done. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah, and it was very strange. It's like a memory of, wow, I haven't felt like this in decades. Maybe childhood memory, but then almost, I'm wondering, have I ever felt like that, or is this like a kind of a connection directly back to source to experience the euphoria of source? It was just very, very profound. Yeah.
Were you in the Merlin's Chamber, Magick Mike's Merlin Chamber?
Yes, I was. Yeah.
Or did you build your own bubble tech pieces as well?
No, I was in Magick Mike's chamber. Yeah.
Only that one time, that one and only time.
In Glastonbury.
I
did it a couple more times. And the next time I did it, I didn't have the intensity of the first time. And I think just sometimes, they were still very powerful, but that first time was incredibly, and I went in and I wasn't feeling very good, I was a bit depressed, a bit down, but then I was like, wow, this is amazing. Yeah. And the music that was being used was Craig. It was tuned to the frequency of 3, and it was just very, very expansive, beautiful music. Yeah, really powerful.
So, it's a shame that Craig couldn't make it for this meeting.
Yeah.
Mike, is there anything else you want to add to the magical moments that you experienced with inside Merlin's chamber?
Yes, absolutely. Let me just start my video on the phone. Yeah, so just really want to thank Craig. He's taken me under his wing, and it's just nothing short of phenomenal. He's really supporting me every step of the way. So, Craig, when you get to see this recording, thank you a lot. Thanks so much for entrusting me with the process. Seeing the magic within me, and really, nurturing this whole process and making it what it is now. And if anybody, I'm always looking for places, particularly in the UK. So if anybody has a venue in mind, or they're able to host, get in touch and see if we can collaborate and share the magic together.
Wonderful. Well said. So, as I said, folks, you can always get hold of our speakers' contacts and links on our website because, as I said, explained earlier, all our speakers are linked up to their sites on our site. Okay. Right. So, Magick Mike, are you showing more on your phone?
Yeah. I do have another testimonial video I would like to share, which will take about a minute, if that's okay. But guys, let me know if you can hear the audio.
Nope, not so far.
We can't see anything because it's gone right to the bottom right-hand side of the screen. Could you make it go into the middle? Or is it just my screen? Is everybody seeing it all right?
Same here.
No, I only see about a half inch of it by 4 inches tall.
Yeah, and you're going to need to share the audio and visual. There's a box in the share for optimizing the audio and visual on video.
Using his mobile phone. It's using.
Yeah, it may not send the video, the audio.
I think if you download, if you do a Bluetooth mirroring with your phone on your laptop, you'll be able to see. We'll be able to see on the big screen. This is, oh, okay, while Magick Mike's doing that, we can have a little chat here, team. Just unmute yourself and speak up. Okay, if there are any questions or whatsoever, we have MikeEmery here to answer your questions. And I probably know a little bit as well that I could answer you too. Good, man. Anybody has any questions or you want to add something to the... Yeah.
Yes, please. I want to ask.
Hey, Sring. Yes, sister.
It's working now.
Yeah.
Now it's working.
Oh,
We
it's
can see
working now, Sring. Hold it there.
Okay, so
We'll
I'll
come
have
back
to
to you
leave it
soon,
like this.
sister.
Yeah,
Go
hopefully
on.
the audio will work as well. So
Don't hear anything.
hmm.
Have you downloaded this onto your laptop, this video clip?
No, unfortunately, it's only on my phone. So
I'm not sure you can share a video from your phone on Zoom.
Yeah.
You'd have to give
it's
the
playing
phone
slow.
co-host permission. You would
It
have
is
to give the
playing a
phone
video.
co-host.
I can hear it at my end, but
And play it very loud and
yeah, it's on maximum volume. So
okay, can you tell us, describe to us, because we can't hear anything.
So Sabrina, my partner in crime, is discussing this protective energy she felt inside of the chamber. And even though our physical bodies were there, basically it created a container for grounding our bodies. She checked out. She had an out of body experience, and it was all very effortless and seamless. And also a lot of the experiences she has with plant medicine
Awesome
were
testimonies.
replicated or enhanced within the chamber. So I hope to have this video uploaded soon for you guys to see. But yes, I do apologize about the technical difficulties. It's absolutely yeah, let's hand it over to Q&A, and I'll be happy to answer any questions.
Yeah, thank you, Magick Mike. I think you got to stop sharing now because it's like we try our best to do our videos without editing because we don't have all those facilities, cost money, right? So we have to be quick and fast and download everything ready before our recording begins. So folks, Sring, coming back to you now, sister, you have a question.
Yes. I would be very interested in this technique for my future project, the Cosmic Light City. So how do I get the connection and more details? Because
Sister,
I want to work that out before
I can answer that question. Yeah, I can answer that question. You can go to our website, okay, the FESIG website, and click on the YouTube channel and go to video FESIG 66 meeting, where MikeEmery is talking about teaching everyone about how to build a bubble tech organic piece. And you can do it yourself. Every one of us, I mean, he's been telling us 5 years ago to do it. Yeah, right, Mike?
Yeah.
and James Ring got to do it. Yeah, but we didn't do it because we were so busy with our free energy devices, the R&D team, where Dr. Frespress is teaching on to build our devices. So with no disrespect, Mike, I mean, we were just busy and we had to bring free energy to the world, right? That's our mission. So meanwhile, this is not to be disregarded as well. Everyone can build it. It's easy to do. And then the next one that you need to watch, sister, is the 67th FESIG meeting on our YouTube channel. You can go and search for FESIG 67. It will pop out, where James Ring is showing you step by step how to do it. Okay, if you like, I can personally, when we find the time, okay, we can do it together, sister. Okay. All we need to do is to gather the ingredients, as Magick Mike was saying. It's kind of like putting the ingredients in the cooking pot and put it together. So it's like a pot when James was built in 2019, and now it has progressed and developed into a cone that Magick Mike's using as a base at the legs for his three-legged pyramid, right? And I think you built 6 cones altogether, didn't you? 6, or is it 9, Mike? Magick Mike.
Well, I've built 3 of the big ones, but in total, it effectively is 9 cones because it's 3 in 1
for the legs.
Yeah.
Would you show again the pictures of the lakes on your Facebook photos, series of photos, very quickly? If it's going to take a lot of time to share screen, then we can't do it.
Yeah, so you want to see the photo of the chamber?
Yeah. I'm not suggesting that all of us built the chamber, okay? Because just with one piece of the organic bubble tech piece of a cone will do it in your home. Am I right, Mike? MikeEmery, are you there? Or have you done it?
Absolutely. You know, if you have just even one bubble, there will be no problems with Wi-Fi bothering you, no problems from directed energy weapons. Nothing can get through the bubble field.
Wonderful. Yeah.
But
okay.
the Merlin Chamber forms when you just put 3 bubble pieces in an equilateral triangle. When you do that, Merlin Chambers form up. Now, one of our guys, his mother, 92 years old, was really bad off, circling the drain. Dementia, you know, couldn't do anything, couldn't get out of bed, and her blood oxygen was way down. And David Bingham, our triple cone making maven in Bridge End, set up a Merlin on the floor above her bed. The following day, her blood oxygen level was almost normal. You know? And in the couple of years since she's been doing that, the problem now is keeping her in the house. she's too active. She's out running around and going everywhere. You know. Yeah. So
well done, Mike. We must thank you for bringing the bubble tech. Yeah.
It's huge. It's huge. There's so many things you can do. It's ridiculous.
Hey, Magick Mike, we're getting a big echo again.
Sister String. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yes,
chip in because you're getting a big echo. Yeah, Sister String. It's fun to do. It's like whipping up a cake. We can bake a cake together if you want. But we have to gather all the ingredients. Okay, it may not be that fast to gather all the ingredients because you have to wait for it to be sent online to be delivered and shipped to you. And then when you got everything, then we can whip up the cake. Right.
Yes. It is true.
Yeah. Basically, it's like making a cake with a cake mixer, because when you watch the video, physics 67th meeting, you see how James Ring, with MikeEmery's instruction, was putting the ingredients in one by one, and literally using a cake mixer to mix it all up. He was using a giant cake mixer. Yeah, Fazz, do you remember that?
Yes.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Anyway,
if I may, you got some really bad audio problems. When somebody's speaking, everybody else has to be muted. I think it's feeding back. I think Magick Mike is feeding. All I know is we've had echo. The people that are not speaking have to mute when somebody's speaking.
Okay, thank you, Scott. Okay, so now I want you, Magick Mike,
to play, if your internet connection's okay, CraigPruess special magical music, Merlin's Trance. Could you play that and share screen so we can hear it, all of us? Or do you want me to search for it and play? But my internet connection is very poor. If you can find the link, maybe you put the link here, Henry can share it.
Yeah, I'll put the link in very quickly. Just going to pull that up. Yeah, I've created the playlist, which includes all of the 9 tracks from the Merlin's Transports. There is a 10th one actually called Merlin.
We only have time for a 30-second sample. That's it. And then we have to wrap up.
Let me know if you can hear it. I'm about to play it on YouTube. So
the time is 14:14. Incredible number. It's telling us that we are running out of time soon.
No sound so far.
Video only sound. No sound.
Nope. No sound.
No sound. Okay.
Can we put the link on the chat?
I'll put the link in the chat.
Henry,
so everybody can listen at their own leisure.
Sure. And also, Henry can share it now because this is the video recording for.
Yeah, so if you play the first one called the Mighty Castle Flyover, probably if you start at the about, I'd say 5 minute 45-second mark would be a good part of the song.
Go on then. Problems. If Henry can share that, I think it'll be a lot smoother. Yeah.
And Magick Mike will have to stop share. There you go. Thank you.
Yeah, you have to stop share. That's it. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm on the way. Can you hear?
Click the audio, bro.
You may have to go back and recheck the boxes, Henrik.
Yeah, the tiny boxes.
Actually, I did before. I will have a check again.
Yeah.
I'm sorry about that.
Thanks,
okay.
Russ.
Yeah, that's the problem. Sorry about that. 5.5. There we have it.
There you go.
I think that's enough. We can stop sharing screen now. Yeah, the link is there for everyone to go into play at your own leisure. If you go to physics website, as I said, just click on CraigPruess, and it will take you to his link, and the recordings are there. And Magick Mike has his as well in his link. All right, folks. Surely you have a lot of questions. Come on, our R&D. Oh, there's another thing which is so important that it shouldn't be left out in this session. Yes, Magick Mike and I were
talking inside the Merlin's chamber, and I was noticing a lot of things because there are many at our R&D team on the Tesla, the copper wire around a rod. So I noticed that Magick Mike has wound it haphazardly around the rod, and then I checked with the R&D team. Our principal teacher, Dr. Fazz, will say, "Oh yeah, you know, you have to count it. It's got to be sets of 9." Fazz, would you like to take it up from here?
Basically, that's just a opinion of our research team staying with the 369 of Tesla. The coils themselves all do something. And so if he's got a wrap that's working really well, then he's got it in phase. If it didn't do well, it would be out of phase and you wouldn't be getting your results. And I watched the improvement of matching frequency with the sacred numbers of health and healing and stuff over the years from MikeEmery. And you guys are really coming up in speed and doing really, really well. So don't mess with the success.
Yeah, definitely. It's definitely something I want to refine a little bit. So when I'm constantly, you know, setting up the chamber, deconstructing it, putting it in the van, taking it out, sometimes the copper wires get a little bit frazzled, so to speak.
Yeah.
But yeah, certainly maybe a solution for binding the copper wire around a little bit tighter so it doesn't move. You know, I'm sure we can come up with a solution to really make sure we're getting the full resonance with the copper wiring.
Yeah. We use adhesives. We were using adhesives and stuff, but you can set it in on organic epoxy or something after you get through whatever the material that you're using in your orgonite. You use it just a thin layer over the top to bind to your wire to your pipe. Maybe all you need to do, but keep your materials similar because you're dealing in harmonics and in a fractal, and you're doing great. So I'll step back. Go ahead, Crystal. Floor is yours.
For Express, you were saying when we were discussing Magick Mike's system of winding the coil around the rods, you're saying that it has to be sets of 9 windings, right? So it's a long rod. So if you wind 9 times, 9 windings, you have to keep going times 9 times, well, a few times, maybe 3 times to cover the whole rod or something like that. Times 9 times 9 times 9.
As long as you're dealing in the 369 or the 9 or the base 3 on the wraps, then your lengths are going to be a multiple of 9 and in harmonic with the 3333 frequency hertz. It's basically radio antenna work that you're doing right now in the quarter wave antennas of each of those rods, those bars. So it's just tuning. And when you get your frequency right, it's right. When it's not, it's like not being able to turn in to the radio station on your AM or FM radio receiver. Okay. So if he's got it tuned in,
right down from the apex, the top, right? Yeah, it's good. Yeah, so he's winding it from the apex. It's got to be a certain direction, clockwise or anti-clockwise on the northern hemisphere. It's anti-clockwise, did you say?
I do both. I do both. I think you know, I had a chat with Mike about it, and he said it wasn't overly important in which direction you do it in, but if you want to do it in the same direction as the DNA, which is Mike, which is the DNA spin again? Remind me.
To the right. To the right.
Yeah. So I think for some of them are done to the right, and there might be 1 or 2 are done to the left. But yeah, it's certainly I'm open to suggestions and improving the technology in general. So by all means, I love the feedback. It's great stuff. So thank you for that, everybody.
In the electrical portion of this, and then I'll back out. we use the right hand rule. So the direction of current flow, it'll be the direction where your thumb is, and then your wires will spin just like your fingers going down the opposite direction. And that's your right hand rule.
Mm-hmm. Oh, awesome.
Okay.
Great stuff.
And there's just a lot of little details. And on some of this stuff, what you and MikeEmery are doing, a lot of it's intuitive. And at the moment, you'll feel this, oh, we need to do this at this moment. It'll be just like inside your heart and inside your whole body going, and you'll make that adjustment and it'll happen automatically. So keep on keeping on. Your progress is wonderful.
Appreciate that. And your life really does become very intuitive and effortless through this whole process with Merlin's Chamber and Bubble Tech.
That's the whole thing. That's the whole thing about Merlin Chamber, is that ultimately we will install telepathy and the ability to teleport via the Merlin Chamber. We've already had people doing teleportation. Levitation is not that difficult. We've had that happen. That happened the first time they tried it in Arizona. So everybody should be able to do all of those. That's freedom. Telepathy and teleportation are freedom for humans. That's where we want everybody to be free.
Yeah, and I'll be brushing up on your healing circle videos, Mike, and learning how to levitate. So that's the plan for 2025, to levitate inside of Merlin's Chamber. So if anybody wants to come visit, see me levitate, then by all means, please do.
Well, it's been a very good chat here in this forum. We have learned so much from each other. And this is a platform where we are bringing the experts together as well. It's always good to have, shed ideas from some expertise so we can improve along the way and to develop our devices, right? So thank you, folks. Thank you so much, everyone who participated. Thank you, Sring. Is there any more of a last say here before we close this session?
I believe Hendrik has got his hand up.
Yeah, I'm just thinking that the chamber providing us with frequency and a state of being. And I guess when you are familiar with that frequency, then you can produce it yourself. You don't need the mechanics to do it. You can do it yourself. What's your thinking about that?
Well, yeah, eventually, yeah. There's only one frequency in the chamber, and that's 3. In general, it's a nonpolar field. It's a chaotic nonpolar field, so you don't have vibrations, frequencies forming up in there. So there's only, and the frequency of 3 is the root frequency of creation.
So you should be able to do it yourself in the long run and learn how to do it.
Yeah, correct.
I guess.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Lovely.
Yeah, to sort of like just expand on what Mike said, Henrik, and to answer your question, the more time you spend in there, the more effortless and seamless the process becomes, and it upgrades your whole physiology. With the Tesla cord, it's an amplified capacitance field. Our cell membranes are capacitors. And the more exposure you have to it, eventually you'll get to the point where your whole physiology will upgrade and you won't need to spend that much time inside the structure itself. I don't spend near the amount of time I used to in there. A lot of times it's deconstructed in my van, but I still have that, that effortless, euphoric, magical, alchemical flow about me. So, it definitely becomes part of your whole being.
There's a learning curve and a crouch in the beginning, and then you are able more and more. So,
and be real quick on this is because of the capacitance of those orgonite. Once they're energized, they don't shut up. they resonate because of the crystals that are in it. for a long period of time. So just having it in the van with you, you're picking up these frequencies that are still residual in the solid forms. Go ahead, Crystal, the floor is yours. And if you want to wrap it up, go right ahead.
Yes, I was like chuckling away. It sounds like you, Pruess and Mike. Once you get going, you can't stop. You got so many creative ideas that flows out. Yeah, thank you so much, folks. Thank you, Sidika, for coming forward to share with us your magical testimony. This is testimony of the fact that this really works. Yeah. So if you want to build your own, as Sister Ring has been asking, you could go to MikeEmery's Mike. If you could find the link, you're the best one to find the link very quickly, fastest. Put on the chat so everyone can see it, and go to your writings to see the step-by-step of how to make a bubble tag.
Yeah,
just
and there was,
like you said earlier, the Bubble Tech page, Facebook Bubble Tech page, is really easy to find.
Yeah, Sidika, if you want to WhatsApp me, I can sort that out as well. Also, yeah, to Fazz's point about the orgonite, once it's charged, you know, they don't shut up. Also within the triple cones, there is a goodie section, so that's anything healing. I've got all sorts of supplements and herbs, CBD oil, ashwagandha, black seed oil, yada yada yada. And also there's bits of my DNA, so I've got nail clippings, a little bit of hair, and it creates a direct feedback loop between the orgonite and my DNA. So it's a very personalized process. So that charge is you know, it's in a constant loop with my DNA as well. So that's another point I wanted to express to the audience. And MikeEmery taught me that. So the cowboy logic, cowboy physics.
Yeah. Okay. Deborah, thank you so much for putting the link, Bubble Tag Group Facebook link, because it's all there, Sister Sering. You can pull out that piece of document that teaches you how to build a bubble tag, like James Rink did way back in 2019.
I got the text.
Mike actually
link.
wrote out, the ingredients listed properly that you could gather and then put it together and whisk it up. You got a bubble tag in the pot. Yeah. And then you need to buy the Tesla one to bubble the pot, the cement in there.
Yeah. Also, I left my email address. My email address is in the chat, so if anybody wants to contact me with any questions, feel free to reach out. You can find me on the Bubble Tech group under Michael Christopher Sainsbury.
Wonderful.
If anybody,
sure. Deborah, sure. The link that Deborah has put on the chat here, the Zoom chat, is the same link as I put in our website, FESIG website, on MikeEmery's name. Okay, you hover your mouse over, it's a live link, click on it, it takes you there. Okay, so as if with Craig as well, if you want to know how Craig comes up with his music, this BBC award winner, you can actually listen to his music from the links I pasted. So folks, is there anything else, Pontus, Pruess, that you want to add to the equation before we?
Magick Mike had a comment, and then I'm going to defer to Pontus. I'm through. I've got everything that said that I was going to say, so I'm good.
Yeah, I'm good also. So thank you,
Mike. Good. Mike, you have any last say?
Yeah, well,
sentence.
One thing I was going to get to earlier is that Bubble Tech and the chambers, we have already changed the entire multiverse and the entire human genome. We've already done that. I've got proof of it. So with it's going to be euphoric. The whole world, the whole universe is going to be euphoric, and we're having a big change, having a big effect, much larger than we think. So all the purple skies worldwide are pretty much due to bubble tech going on now, because that purple is the color of euphoria. It's supplanting green, piezoelectric green, the color of love. It's the color of euphoria, as being, like I said earlier, the emotional catalyst of creation. You have to have an emotion, a spin that connects up 7 image-only realms to make one realm. That's where the number 7 comes from. The image-only realms are in the quantum. They're in the 4-sided ethers, and when they circle up, then they go into the hexagonal ethers and become our reality. The exact electromagnetic sequence of events is very simple, very straightforward, and I have it. You know, as to how things manifest.
All right. I just didn't want to leave any blank screen, so that's why I'm sorry. I just shared screen there. But I'm in trouble because my internet connection's not good. Can somebody just stop my screen share for me? Okay, I'll do it. Okay, there you go. Okay, folks. So there being no other business now. This one.
Crystal, Magick Mike has one comment. Yeah.
Sure, go on then.
So one final point. I really want to thank everybody for joining me today and discussing Merlin's Chamber. And I want to leave on what's become my catchphrase, really. So FESIG, Crystal, MikeEmery, CraigPruess, from the land of Avalon, Merlin has arrived. And as always, keep creating the magic, guys.
So much, Magick Mike. You know, I apologize if I seem to be talking over anyone because of the poor internet connection. I couldn't hear you, and you couldn't hear me sometimes, so we clash sometimes. My apologies. So, is there any other last say that any one of you here present wants to add to the equation before I close the meeting? Okay, so now there being no other business, this 132nd FESIG meeting is now adjourned to the 133rd meeting that will be held on the 5th of February. That's the first Wednesday of the month, folks. So pen that down in your diary. We will bring another fascinating set of speakers for you. So there you go. So from March onwards, we will go back to the normal time. That is 6:30 p.m. UK time, and Fazz will have a lot more sleep. It will go back to normal as usual on the first Wednesday of the month, as we had been on for 8.5 years. Thank you, everyone. Namaste. With lots of love and gratitude, sisters and brothers. Yeah. And
thank you so much. Tashitele.
Thank you. Thank you. Namaste. We can stop recording now.
Right, euphoric blessing.